Alright, I've procrastinated enough. Let's go. So if you've been following my channel for long enough, you may have noticed that I've removed all of my previous videos except for my first, and I've re-uploaded some of them to other channels. As well as changing my name to Deon Reviews, which won't be the case after this video. Now you may be wondering why exactly. Well, you might want to sit down for this because this is gonna take some time to explain. So I first joined YouTube in 2013 where I went through some phases in my time. From making Thomas and Friends videos with my take along and take and play toys, to playing Roblox, to Go Animate, now known as Beyond videos, to just whatever I felt like really. In 2019 I decided to give my channel somewhat of a rebrand after realising that my older content wasn't the best.
Peppa Pig. How dare you fart in detention?
I mean, I was a kid back then, and I'm not gonna act like I'm completely ashamed of them. After all, to quote what a yellow dog once said.
Dude, sucking at something is the first step towards being sorta good at something.
But I still did want to move on to bigger and better things. By the first half of next year, most of my older content will be uploaded onto these two channels. But to summarise, a lot of it was bizarre. Heck, I also had a shot at making my own movie called Deon Judging the Movie. That's gonna be re-uploaded onto Deon Archive, but looking back on it, whilst I admire how I went out of my way to try and make a movie, mainly because I want to be a filmmaker when I grow up, the result definitely isn't my proudest creation. Not only was the plot incredibly thin, basically just being an excuse to randomly bash this new preschool show called Goldie and Bear. Again, I used to be a Go Animate person. But it was only 9 minutes. That's shorter than your typical SpongeBob episode. Of course, this wasn't the first movie I tried to make. There was Thomas the Take-Along Tank Engine the movie, based on a short-lived, as in 3 episodes, with the final one originally being 3 parts long, series I made. Not only was the plot mostly just a poor man's Hero of the Rails with random extra stuff added in there, but it wasn't even finished. I legit ended it on a cliffhanger. I mean, see for yourself. I've uploaded all 3 episodes and the unfinished movie onto Deon Archive if you're curious. And I'll also upload Deon the movie on there at some point next year. Warning, they're all not the best. After reflecting on my past content, I wanted to grow my channel and do bigger and better things. So I decided to do a series on the channel called Deon Productions Reviews. I was an avid watcher of reviews on media back then, and I still watch them to this day. And I knew what my first review was gonna be on. Horrid Henry, the movie. Whilst I've mellowed down on the movie considerably, evident by the review I eventually posted, but then privated earlier since I want to redo it. I'll re-upload that onto Deon Archive not too long before the redone version. The original review I was working on was definitely more nitpicky. Yeah, the film really isn't well liked anyway, but most of these complaints were just about things not looking and sounding exactly like the TV show. There were other complaints, but this unfinished review wasn't too good. As for the final result, which came out in 2020 after I pretty much started from scratch, It turned out decently, I think. I tried to be more fair and to judge the film based more on other aspects like the story, but there were some weird pointers I made. Usually just me mundanely questioning certain things. Did that girl just growl at Henry like a lion cub? Was I making a joke there? I'm not really certain, to be honest. But overall, it turned out okay enough, and I was happy with what I did. And again, it's getting re-uploaded soon. Then, the next month, a little film called Horrid Henry's Gross Day Out was released. And naturally, I wanted to make this my second review. Yeah, there was Horrid Henry's Wild Weekend, but back then I was like, I don't want to review that since I only want to tackle movies. That's not a movie. Oh, how times have changed. Well, yeah, it isn't a movie, and I'm reviewing it as part of my movie review series. But I don't know, I just want to talk about it, I guess. I won't say anything about what I thought of Gross Day Out since I want to save it for the review I'm working on, because oh boy do I have things to say. But I definitely wanted to talk about it next. Heck, I even planned out what I'd review afterwards due to how ambitious I felt. So I got to work on the Gross Day Out review, and boy did I stall. I was gonna do my recording process for my review in December of 2020, right before we moved into another house, but not wanting to rush it, especially since I didn't even finish the script. I just decided to start over after moving into the new house. Then, for some time, I was focused on writing the script for the review, and it wasn't around March or April in 2021 when I began recording and editing, and of course that took some time. Until finally, I uploaded the video on the 28th of May in 2021, and right away I got a copyright strike. So to be fair, the original review was almost as long as the movie, and I did show a lot of stuff from that film. So I decided to just re-upload the video with the footage from the movie mirrored, in which I had to redo the parts with the footage shown due to me adding my own watermark and deleting the original folder for these parts afterwards, and some fat trimmed. However, doing that made me realise something. This review kinda sucked. Points were either repeated or dragged out, and sometimes I glossed over certain parts and hardly went into detail. So naturally I wanted to also fix the review. I had to go over the movie and rewrite, then re-record some of my pointers, but I noticed more flaws. I had to fix some editing errors. I wanted to add in background music, which the review originally lacked for the most part, just like the Horrid Henry the movie review. And then earlier this year, when I was still trying to fix the review as much as possible, I eventually realised something. I want to start from scratch. Not just the review, but the channel as a whole. I really wasn't satisfied with where I was going, and while working on the Gross Day Out video, I got incredibly burnt out. I'm serious, doing this video drained me. I just wanted to be done, yet in trying to fix the video, I just felt like I was hardly going anywhere with it, and I didn't know how I was gonna make it the way I wanted it to be. So I thought that the best solution was to just start over from scratch. I also planned to redo my Horrid Henry the movie review to keep the wait feel shorter. It was still going to be the same, albeit with better editing, some newly re-recorded audio, and a new animated avatar. But after thinking about it, I wanted to give my reviews a really big overhaul. Now, these new reviews will follow the same structure as the Horrid Henry the Movie review, like giving a history lesson about what I'm talking about, then recapping the story, then talking about the pros and cons, then talking about my final thoughts, and giving an overall score out of 10. That structure will still be the same, but the overall style I do it in will still be different in a way. So I decided to change my channel name to Deon Reviews. The idea was that this channel was to solely focus on film reviews, so I'd occasionally review TV shows too. I also decided to change the name of my second channel, then called Yoshi Boom, we'll address this channel later, into the new Deon Productions. However, not too long ago, I decided to change the name of my second channel to Deon Archive. And I'm also changing my main channel's name back to Deon Productions. But why all of that confusion? Well, I want Deon Archive to basically be the channel for most of my older videos to stay. And while film reviews are gonna be my main thing, I wanted to bring back the Deon Productions name simply because reviews won't be all that I do on this channel. I also wanna try and do animations too. Heck, I'm even thinking about making a full animated series, but only time will tell what happens. I also decided to give my review series a more catchy name rather than just Deon Reviews. So I decided on Friday Movie Night Reviews. That will focus solely on movies, but I have another series planned which will talk about television shows. However, that will only be for one specific month each year. I've also planned out a ton of reviews I'm gonna be doing, mostly in order. Of course, my Horrid Henry the Movie re-review is still gonna be a thing. This time as a 3-in-1 alongside Horrid Henry's Wild Weekend and Gross Day Out. That won't be the first review I make, but definitely one of the first 3. I've also got reviews of every single King Kong and Godzilla movie planned, along with a video tackling several movies in one. Some of these will definitely be interesting. But what about schedules? Here's the thing, apart from releasing each review on a Friday, hence the name, I'm not really doing any specific schedules. The thing is that I'd like to take my time to make each review the best that they can be. Trust me, I've had experience. I don't want to rush it or else they won't turn out as good as they should. Look at movies, they take years to complete. Yeah, these reviews won't take that long, but they'll typically take 2 or more months to make. However, I've come up with a plan. The first thing I do for a review, other than the thumbnail, is watch the movie, then write the script for my review. I'll also re-watch the movie to make sure I didn't miss anything and be able to elaborate on my views better. But watching the film and writing the review are the first 2 things I do. So here's where the plan comes in. I'm going to write 2 to 5 reviews, each back to back. This'll be a good way to have a script prepared for each review when I choose to make it. The next thing I do is record reviews, then edit them. The last thing I'll do is upload all 2 to 5 reviews weekly on Fridays before I prepare myself for working on the next batch. I think that'll be a good way to keep myself motivated. However, I have got a review coming out this month. But it isn't the Horrid Henry one, which will be sometime next year. No, instead this will be on a Christmas movie. I'm not gonna spoil it since I wanna surprise you all, but I have been working hard on this review and I'm hoping to get it out by the 23rd. But if I don't, it will be on the 30th for sure. I mean, better late than never, am I right? But hey, at least I'm not releasing it in January. But what about copyright, you say? The original Gross Day Out review got a strike, so will the footage for all reviews be mirrored or something? Actually, no. I have a certain style I'm utilising for these reviews, one where I can show the footage without getting any copyright strikes. Of course, I won't spoil it, but I do think you'll find my method really clever. I'm also retiring my live action self for a new 2D persona. Yes, I wear glasses now. Actually, I have been for a while. I wanted to do 2 of these, one with glasses and one without. The one without glasses would have just been featured in the thumbnails for the first 2 videos, while the one with glasses would be for future thumbnails. Yes, these were originally just for thumbnails. It was quicker than taking a photo of myself doing a pose and then having to erase the background as precisely as possible. But eventually I decided to have my 2D self just the one without glasses, since nearly all expressions for it were finished by then. My permanent self for these videos. I always found cartoon avatars more interesting than just using my real life self, and I really liked the expressions I had, so I wanted to do more with the 2D avatar I made. Yeah, I'm just a floating head now, but you know what, it's something memorable. So, yeah, I finally found out what I want to do on this channel. I mostly want to talk about other media with in-depth reviews. So what about the other channels? So with Deon, which I'll talk about first since I don't really have much to say, it was originally just a secondary channel, but I didn't really know what to put on there. So after I rebranded my main channel, I decided to make this the hub for some of my older videos, as well as new ones that didn't really fit on Deon reviews. All of these are just short out of context memes that I made, or clips that I wanna share, or it's me trying to make a movie look better. Heck, this pretty much became my meme channel anyway. Yeah, there's nothing really else to say, but I'd highly recommend you check this channel out if you're curious. It'd really help. And I upload on there quite a bit too, though I have been slacking recently due to my main priority being the review I'm working on. And lastly, Yoshi Boom, which is now the Young Archive. So here's a little story. In 2020, I wanted to start making videos with my Mario plushies, as I wanted to see what stories I could tell with them, plus other channels were doing the same. This wasn't the only time though, because I previously tried to do the same thing back in 2018, but I never did a single video then. As for Yoshi Boom, I did a video on my main channel as a way to get people interested, which then got uploaded onto the Young Archive earlier this year. I was really ambitious with Yoshi Boom, let me tell you. I was gonna have some Mario characters as well as random plushies and puppets I have as my own characters, including Dylan the Blue Lizard, who was gonna be Yoshi's best friend in the videos. I did a comprehensive list in my notes app of all the videos I wanted to make, with synopses and release date schedules to boot, and I did a list of all the characters and what they'd be like. For my first video I had a few ideas. The first was a dance party video which would have later turned into Yoshi defending his friends from Nightmare Freddy. The second one was about Luigi letting a monkey stay at the house. But when the monkey becomes Yoshi's roommate and kicks him out of his own bedroom, he then becomes suspicious. Yeah, not the most original premise, but it didn't really put much of a spin on it either. But the third one, the one that actually got made, was a video where Yoshi, Dylan, Mario and Luigi just talk about how this channel came to be and what to expect from the future. The video was recorded around November of 2020 before I moved house. I also recorded another video before the move too, basically acting as a transition between the old and new house. The video was simply about Bowser, after being banished to the attic by the Mario Bros, escaping and burning the house down whilst they and Yoshi escape. That video wasn't uploaded and I did actually kinda procrastinate on editing it, but I did record everything that I wanted, as rushed as it was. Yoshi Beam's first ever video, the first upload, was uploaded on the 24th of January in 2021, but was re-uploaded later that year on the 2nd of September. The reason is because in the original video, I said that I wanted to get videos out every 5 days, or at least my character Dylan said that. Of course, I didn't know what I was talking about, so that just wasn't possible. The re-uploaded version, the one that's public on Deon Archive, has Dylan's lines redubbed to have him say that I should just post videos whenever they're finished. So where are they now? I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I just gave up. Why? Because to be honest, life in general just got in the way. Now I'm not saying that I'm lazy, but I could never find the time to fully make more videos after the first two I worked on. I had school and now college. I also have a small house. My mum likes to watch TV downstairs whenever she's not busy, and my two sisters like to play around the house, and I don't want to get in the way of their spare time just for some videos. Reviews are easy because all I do is record the audio in my room and edit the video afterwards. That doesn't require getting in the way of others. But with Yoshi Beam, I wanted the videos to take place all around the house. I mean, if it was just in my room all the time for every video, that would get boring. And if I rushed them, the videos would just be low effort garbage. But I had no choice other than to just give up. If I can't find time to make these videos, what's the point of getting an audience excited for nothing? I got over ambitious and I didn't think things through, and for that I do apologise. However, I did mention before that I am doing an animated series. Some of the premises from Yoshi Beam that I really liked were incorporated into my story ideas for the series, and again, if I do end up making it, that would pretty much be the final result of Yoshi Boom. So technically I'm still making it, but as something different. I also have a lot of plushies and puppets I wanted to use for Yoshi Boom, but they won't go to waste. I'll incorporate them into other projects such as my reviews. So because my priorities for Yoshi Boom changed, I decided to change the channel into the new Deon Productions, where I'd do things other than reviews. But because I changed my main channel back into Deon Productions, that channel is now Deon Archive. Deon Archive is basically gonna be the channel where I upload most of my older videos. Heck, I already started doing that, so yeah. And overall, that is all I have to tell you about what's been going on this year regarding my YouTube channels. I've rebranded myself, and in a way I'm satisfied with, and I hope satisfies you too. While I'm not gonna throw my older stuff under the bus entirely, I still have my first video uploaded on my main channel and I'm re-uploading the rest onto my two other channels. But I've been thinking about doing this for a while now, until earlier this year when I finally went through with it. I wanted to show that I finally decided what I want my YouTube channel to be starting from this year. I just wasn't happy with how I was before. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with showing people my older stuff, but I don't just want to be remembered for stuff like Peppa Pig farts in detention. I wanted to try and breathe new life into this channel, so I decided to private all of my previous videos, except for my first, because, well, that's my first ever video, and re-upload most of these onto two other channels I think fit better on them. I feel like starting from scratch will really help me out in the future. But for now, here's to a new era of Deon.